Brad, we're obviously only a few days away from a very exciting fight here at Madison Square Garden. So I'm curious, what are the emotions now that the hard part of camp is done, and at this point it's just media and cutting weight at this point?
Yeah, like I always like Wednesday because it's like distracting, right? It's like one of the harder days of the cut, but obviously I get to talk to all you guys and wander around for the day, so it like chops the day up nice, man. It's good.
And when they came to you with Moicano, was this a name that excited you?
But yeah, pumped as. The guy is good at everything, right? Good striker, good grappler. He's a veteran. Yeah, I'm super excited. Like, I watched that guy fight, and every time he comes and obviously he's not lacking any heart taking that last fight on short notice, so yeah, it's going to be a bit of a barn burner.
Well, you touched upon a few things I want to talk about. Like, I don't think Moicano has many, if any, knockouts in his career. He has a lot of submission wins, but not a whole lot of knockouts. So how dangerous is his striking when you watch tape on him?
It's always dangerous. I think anybody's dangerous with those tiny gloves on. I don't know, doesn't have any knockouts, but like he can finish people with his submissions, and yeah, like that doesn't really change my mentality about him at all.
When you were watching that fight against RDA that he took on short notice, and did you think that like maybe he took too much damage in that fight? A lot of people watching that said the ref should have stopped it earlier.
Yeah, I definitely think it could have been stopped earlier, but I mean, kudos to that guy for getting in there and doing that on such short notice and putting on a performance and going like the 5 rounds, you know, like nothing can be taken away from his heart.
And finally, I've been asking all the fighters this at Media Day. This might be Frankie Edgar's last fight in his MMA career. So were you a fan of his coming up?
Massive. I just saw him and wanted to stop, but like I was obviously on the way here. But yeah, I'm super excited to see him, and like what a place to if this is his last fight, what a place to finish it.
And then one more. I know obviously you're siding with your teammate Israel in the main event, but how do you think he gets it done against Oxford?
I think if you look at history with Israel, every person that hasn't really given him shit or given him grief at any point has sort of gone to a decision, but every time that somebody's picked at him and really rocked him up and pissed him off, he's sort of rolled through them. So obviously Pereira has a special place in Izzy's heart, and I think, yeah, Izzy's going to finish him.
Brad, just over to your right.
Yep.
You spent some time over at Bangtao in this camp. What was the deciding factor behind that?
I just went over to see the boys and see how the new gym was going, and really liked it. There was some awesome training there, so I decided to extend a little bit longer, and came home and finished the camp off in New Zealand.
What have been the main things you've taken away from those last 2 performances? Obviously, they didn't go your way, but...
Man, it's just part of the game. What I took away from it, that it sucks. Like, losing obviously sucks, but it's just the way of the world sometimes. Sometimes you're the hammer and sometimes you're the nail.
Has there been anything different about the way this camp's gone at CKB? I know a lot of the boys have been talking about just how intense it has been.
Yeah, it was. I walked back into that. So I walked back into a pretty intense training regime from Thailand. The boys have been in it for a few more weeks than me. And it was hard work, a lot of hard work, a lot of long sessions, and yeah, a lot of long weeks.
You've Brad, right in front of you, kind of straight to your right. You've been in a fair share of wars in the UFC thus far. Do you feel like Moicano is going to kind of continue that trend? Should fans expect a banger here?
I don't want it to be. Yeah, like I've been in a war every single time so far. I guess that's like the people that I keep getting matched up with, right? They're very durable, very skillful, and I've got another one. So, you know, high possibility, but hopefully not.
Well, I mean, when they offer you, coming off 2 losses, when they offer you another guy that you know you're going to have to go through that with, is there any like hesitation to be like, maybe we'll wait for something a little more favorable?
Nah, not really. I feel like if you're in the UFC and you're looking for favorable fights, so with someone below your skill level, I don't think it's the place for you. And I don't think that, obviously I had 2 losses, but I don't think they're a portrayal of like my skill level going down at all. You know, the fight with Rafa was a very, very good fight until I made a mistake at the end. And then the last one, I got rushed and got caught off guard, and it's just 2 mistakes, right? I didn't get run through at all. Like, it wasn't like a long fight and just got outclassed the entire time. I just, not taking anything away from those guys, it was like I made mistakes and paid for them. So I'm 100% confident.
Yeah, and any extra added pressure coming in on a skid, or do you feel like, the efforts that you've always put out and the excitement factor, like, do you feel like you're, I don't know, is the pressure alleviated at all by what you just talked about?
I don't feel any pressure. I feel a lot of excitement. I mean, my first time in New York and the first time I ever get to come here, I get to fight at Madison Square Garden against like an awesome opponent. So I got like a massive group of mates here that get to come and watch it as well. So yeah, man, it's an awesome build-up.
Brad Riddell, obviously you're a lightweight. Your teammate Alex Volkanovski is talking about moving up to 155, fighting for a title. I'm sure you expect him to win the title. Does that complicate things for you?
Not particularly. I think I'm out of the rankings now, so I'm a realist. I'm quite a wee way away from having a crack at that belt. So if he still had it when I got up there, I obviously would not fight him. But yeah, like I really hope he gets it. Like I think that's awesome. Everybody in this career in the sport wants to do something unique. He's already the pound for pound, and now he's going to do something like, add a little bit more to that X factor and go for champ status. So get it, go after it.
Right over here, Brad.
Yeah.
How you doing? Stan the Man from Medicine the Man. So I know the gentleman in the front said that you were training at Bang Tao with the Hickman brothers. If you can, just explain what it's like training with them. Maybe you could tell me which one of them is your favorite between the two. And then also, what's it like training in Thailand versus training in New Zealand?
All right. That's awkward because one of them's in the room. Nah. I love them both. They're sweet as. The boys at Bang Tao are guys that I grew up with in Thailand in my adolescence, and they've moved on and opened this sick ass gym, and the training there is good, just like it is in New Zealand. There's like a massive range of coaching skill and knowledge. Like the Hickman brothers wrestling goes deep. Alex's jiu-jitsu is very deep. There's great strength and conditioning. Obviously, there's a ton of Muay Thai. Sometimes it's nice to change things up, and I changed up for a little bit, and then came home and finished it off with the killers that I've always been with. And what was the other part of the question?
Just pretty much what's it like training in New Zealand versus training in?
Yeah, like
what was the differences basically?
It's very similar in quality. New Zealand's just got a lot of volume, and especially for this fight camp, it was a lot of volume. And I don't have a favorite Hickman. I just have a favorite Hickman different days of the week. Yeah.
Okay, and then so your first time in New York?
First time.
Do you have any touristy things on the list to do, or are you just fully focused on the fight?
Yeah, so I'm going to stay a few days after the fight, and my partner spent a lot of time living here, so I'll get that touristy stuff done after the work's done.
What do you got in mind?
I'm going to have to do all the basic stuff, all the cliche stuff like Statue of Liberty, Empire State. I'll just get it all done, man. I got a few days, so I'll cram it full.
Okay. And then do you have any partying planned for after the victory?
Yeah, we have an after party that we're going to. Supposed to go to.
At Izzy's after party.
Yeah, but we'll see. Not like a massive party, but I'll probably get dragged there by everybody else. Yeah.